many important issues that we could say matter to God. I think every issue matters to God if it affects people because the Lord loves people. So we need wisdom to make the best decision in unclear circumstances. So I think of like in 1 Chronicles 12, it talks about the sons of Issachar who understood the times and what they ought to do. In Romans 13, it says we should know the times. In Luke 12, Jesus chastises the people for not recognizing and discerning the times. So we need wisdom to recognize the times we're in, so we then know what are the most important issues of our time. That brings me to the third point. Vote for life and not death. Because abortion is the greatest injustice of our day, voting for pro-life candidates is by far the greatest importance in our day. This is the number one issue. In Psalm 82, it says, defend the weak and the fatherless, uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed. And in Proverbs 31, it says, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. There's nobody who needs our voice more than the unborn. They can't vote. They can't march. Their only hope is that Bible-believing Christians will stand up and actively fight on their behalf. There are Christians who will say, well, I don't like abortion. I'd hope not. But it's not really my place to say what other people should do. It's easy for you to say that when you've already been born. And really what those Christians mean is, I know in my soul it's morally wrong, but I don't want to have to deal with the backlash of going against the cultural grain. Just like Pontius Pilate tried to wash his hands of guilt when he turned Jesus over to be crucified. You can't alleviate yourself of guilt by turning a blind eye. So hear me on this. It is impossible to be faithful to God and pro-choice. There is no such thing as a pro-choice Christian. Anyone who tells you otherwise is deceived or in denial. In fact, here's the choice you do have. You can either fight for every baby's right to life or be complicit in their death. People will say, well, does voting even make a difference? Or they'll say, it doesn't even make a difference. It makes a difference. Look at what just happened. President Trump appointed 3 pro-life Supreme Court justices who then overturned Roe v. Wade. That makes a difference. So what we need to do is vote and use our voting power to empower people who will fight for life. A pro-choice candidate is therefore never an option for a Christian. And in case you couldn't tell, I like to be clear on these issues. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there and say the quiet part out loud. The official Democratic Party platform is pro-choice. And there are no pro-life Democrats in national office that I can find. And I've searched high and low. If you find one, call the Endangered Species Society. So that means if you vote for a Democrat as a Christian, you're voting for abortion.